Kung ang backpacking ay isang college degree, malamang Bangkok ang Backpacking 101 course. Bukod kasi sa ito ang most visited city in the world, maituturing din ito na epicenter ng backpacking culture sa buong mundo. Hindi naman katakataka dahil kilala ito sa mga murang presyo, masasarap na pagkain, and mga friendly na locals. Hello there, poor traveler! We are Vince and Josh. Kakauwi lang namin from our ninth pang-siyam na trip sa Bangkok. And sa video na to, isi-share namin sa inyo ang mga tips and updates para makapag-Bangkok ka na rin. Pero before we begin, baka naman pwedeng makahiling ng subscribe dyan. Kaunting kembot na lang kasi ay ma-achieve na rin natin ang 100,000 subscribers. And magiging super thankful kami if makakasama ka doon. I-tap mo na rin ang bell icon para lagi kang notified kapag may new videos tayo. And kung sa Facebook ka naman nanonood, please like and follow our page na din. Ang Bangkok ang capital and commercial, economic and political center ng Thailand. Pero ang term na yan ay exonym lang or ito yung tawag ng mga foreigners dun sa lugar. Ang mga locals, ang tawag nila ay Krung Thep, meaning City of Angels, na short for its official name na Krung Thep Mahan Nakhon, na shortened version naman ng full ceremonial name nito na... Wait, medyo mahaba to. So, itong tour guide na lang namin yung magsasabi.
Okay, the full name of Bangkok is Krungthep Mahanakhon, Amon Ratana Kosin, Mahintala Ayutthaya Mahadilok, Phop Nopparat Rathathani Buri Rom, Udom Rachaniwet Mahasathan, Amon Piman Awatan Satit, Sakkatatiya Visanu Kambasit.
O, diba? Sabi sa inyo, mahaba masyado eh. Pero don't worry, pwede namang mag-stick na lang muna tayo sa Bangkok na tawag. By the way, ngayon pa lang magsosorry na ako kasi baka ma-murder ko ang ilang mga Thai pronunciations as we go along. Nag-try naman ako pero minsan mahirap lang talaga. Sa unang tingin, Bangkok looks like your typical highly urbanized metropolis, but a closer look reveals na it's very much in touch with its past. Its roots as the capital can be traced back to 1782, after mag-fall ng Ayutthaya in order ni King Rama I na magtayo ng bagong sentro na mas strategic ang location along the Chao Phraya River. Kaya marami sa mga most visited sites dito kahit ngayon were built under his rule. Kasama na dyan ang Grand Palace Complex at yung iba pang mga temples na i-discuss natin maya-maya lang. Ito pa yung ibang mga facts na useful malaman kung bibisita ka sa Bangkok. Ang official language ay Thai. Sa mga baguhan dito, pwedeng intimidating ang dating kasi mahaba ang mga salita. It's also a tonal language, meaning nagbabago ang kahulugan kapag nagbabago rin yung tono. And may sarili silang alphabet, pero don't worry kasi most road and establishment signs naman ay may kasamang translation. Marami kayong mga locals like taxi drivers and vendors na ma-encounter na hindi magaling mag-English, pero marami sa mga mas bata ay marunong naman. And what the Thais lack in English fluency, they make up for naman with their friendly attitude towards tourists. Ang time zone nila ay +7 or Indochina time. Same time zone ng Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos and 1 hour behind the Philippines. So kung nasa Thailand ka and alas 7 na sa orasan, ibig sabihin alas 8 na sa Pilipinas. Ahead tayo ng 1 hour. Ang official currency ay ang Thai Baht. Ang 100 baht ay katumbas ng 161 pesos as of this recording. Mamaya i-discuss ko kung saan makakapagpapalit ng baht so kapit ka lang dyan. Cash ang bida dito. Although some restaurants and hotels accept credit cards, most smaller establishments prefer cash pa rin talaga. And ang pinakamalaking religion ay Buddhism, practiced by almost 93% of the population. Meron din namang mga nag-identify with Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, Sikhism, and Confucianism. Ang power sockets ay type A and C. Ito yung may dalawang butas na pwedeng tumanggap ng yung flat and yung round pins. Ganito, parang nandito sa picture. Pero kung ang plug mo ay may 3 pins, baka need mo na ng adapter. In Thailand, travelers are only required to present the usual border requirements like passport and visa if applicable. Foreigners holding passports issued by the Philippines, Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, US, UK, Germany, and 40 plus other countries can enter Thailand visa-free, provided that they stay shorter than 30 days. Again, tayong mga Pinoy, hindi naman natin kailangan ng visa kung shorter than 30 days yung stay natin. However, visitors must have the following upon entry: Una, valid passport with at least 6 months na validity. Kailangan din ng return or onward ticket. And cash, at least 10,000 baht per person or 20,000 baht per family or equivalent in other currencies. For tourist visa holders, that's 20,000 baht per person or 40,000 baht per family. Again, it doesn't need to be in baht. Pwedeng ibang currency like peso basta equivalent amount. Siguro nagtatanong ka ngayon, kailangan ba talaga yan? In theory, yes. Yun kasi yung batas nila. Pero hindi ito na-i-implement all the time. The vast majority of travelers ay hindi naman tinatanong. Kami nga, makailang beses na kaming labas-pasok sa Thailand pero never pa nahingan ng ganyan. But, hindi porke hindi kami na-check or yung kakilala nyo na nag-Thailand hindi na-check, it doesn't mean na hindi ka rin ma-check. May mga accounts online ng mga na-check and walang naipakita. So, it's best to bring a return ticket and hotel booking and enough funds just in case they ask to see them. Maigi na yung safe and sigurado. As for the pandemic-related requirements, as of this recording, wala naman. The Thai government has lifted all COVID-19 restrictions for tourists. That said, the airline may ask for a vaccination ID. On our most recent trip, magkaiba yung airlines na sinakyan ng team namin. Yung mga nag-Thai Airways, hindi na hininga ng proof of vaccination. Pero, yung nag-Philippine Airlines, chinek kung merong vaccination card or certificate. Wala namang naging problem kasi dala naman namin. By the way, kahit hindi required sa Thailand, kung gusto mong hindi mag-test pabalik ng Pilipinas, need mo pa rin ng proof of vaccination. Otherwise, baka i-require ka na mag-test. But because health policies change fast, especially these extraordinary times, please double-check the latest rules with the authorities and the airline before your trip. Malawak ang Bangkok and magkakalayo ang mga attractions. Thankfully, marami namang ideal neighborhoods for tourists. Take a look at this map of downtown Bangkok. Ito yung mga areas na may big concentration ng mga lodging options. Pero, ang tanong, alin ba dyan ang pinaka-okay? Well, ang sagot dyan ay depende. Depende kung bakit ka ba nasa Bangkok in the first place. Bawat neighborhood kasi ay may kanya-kanyang mga malalapit na attractions. Kung nagba-backpack ka or habol mo yung nightlife sa Bangkok, the Khao San area should be your top choice. Dito nagko-congregate ang hordes ng mga backpackers from around the world kaya hindi mabilang ang mga hostels and mga murang matitigilan dito. Madali lang din namang mapuntahan ang Grand Palace and yung mga temples mula dito. If andito ka sa Bangkok para mag-shop till you drop, the Pratunam and Siam areas are ideal dahil sa dami ng mga bargain centers and shopping malls around. Kung gusto mo namang ma-experience ang modern Bangkok, the Sukhumvit area has a lot of dining, shopping, and clubbing options including many of its famed rooftop bars. Andito rin yung marami sa mga expats na based sa city kaya mas cosmopolitan yung vibe. Kung foodie ka naman, ang Silom and Chinatown areas are home to some of the best but affordable food spots in the city. Ang Silom yung business district, parang Makati ganyan. Ang pinakasentro nito ay ang Lumpini Park, yung pinakamalaking green space sa Bangkok. Itong Bang Lampu area naman or yung area near the Democracy Monument and Khao San Road, meron din silang great selection of Michelin-listed pocket-friendly restaurants. Pero kung tipid na tipid ka talaga, ang pinaka-marirecommend namin ay Siam and Silom kasi meron silang good selection of hostels and budget hotels, especially yung areas around BTS National Stadium Station or MRT Ratchathui Station sa Siam area and BTS Saladeng Station and MRT Silom Station kung sa Silom naman. Yes, maraming MRT stations dito. Mula sa kahit saan sa mga to, madaling mapuntahan yung mga key attractions kaya makakatipid ka rin sa pamasahe. Dami ring murang kainan around. Madalas ay sa Silom area kami nagsistay pero itong huling trip namin, we stayed malapit sa Khao San Road for the first time. While it was fun indeed, especially kasi nagstay kami sa isang party hostel, I have to admit na hindi talaga siya kasing convenient ng Silom or Siam, lalo pagdating sa transportation. 30-minute walk away pa kasi ang pinakamalapit na BTS station, which is Samyot Station. The only consolation is that it's close to a pier, where you can board a boat to get to Ki Pasyalan along Chao Phraya River. Other than that, tuk-tuk and taxi ang main transportation options pa Khao San. That said, I can still recommend staying there, especially if you wish to have a taste of Bangkok's backpacking culture. Pero if you prefer to stay somewhere easily accessible, Silom and Siam areas talaga yung top recommendations ko. Parehong maraming BTS and MRT stations and they offer a little bit of everything that the other districts have to offer. Good food, shopping, and nightlife. Okay, shucks, parang dapat separate video yung where to stay section kasi ang haba. Bangkok is served by two airports. Ang Suvarnabhumi Airport, the newer and bigger airport, na sinuserve ang most airlines except a few low-cost carriers. Situated ito east of the city proper, roughly 1 hour away. Ang ikalawa ay ang Don Muang Airport, which serves mostly AirAsia, Nok Air, Thai Lion Air, and Tiger Air Taiwan. It lies north of the city center, 45 minutes to 1 hour away depending sa traffic conditions. If you're flying from Manila, it's easy to find direct, non-stop flights to Bangkok as multiple airlines operate this route. As of this writing, ito yung mga options mo. Ang travel time ay 3.5 to 4 hours. For our most recent visit, we flew with Philippine Airlines dahil sa kanilang 30 kilo na check-in baggage allowance. Most other airlines kasi only provide 20 kilos. Yung trip namin was before Christmas and we really intended na mag-Christmas shopping. Remember, Bangkok is a retail paradise, so bargain hunters can easily have a field day at any of their shopping centers. It turned out to be a great decision kasi we really did use almost the entire 30 kilos na allocation. Also, meron kasing free rebooking ang PAL. Ang dami kasing uncertainties nitong huling trip namin. When we booked our tickets, di pa nga namin alam how long we wanted to stay in Thailand kasi gusto rin naming mag-Phuket and Chiang Mai. We wanted more flexibility just in case may magbago sa plano. As of this recording, PAL doesn't charge additional rebooking fees if the new flight is within 60 days after the original flight. Pero pa-double check na rin kasi baka nagbago na yung policy ng airline. Although, yung fare difference talaga still needs to be settled. Both airports naman are connected to Bangkok's growing train system, which is good kasi train talaga ang okay na way to get around kasi iwas traffic. And yes, matraffic din sa Bangkok tulad dito sa atin. If you're coming from Suvarnabhumi Airport, follow the signs to the Airport Rail Link or ARL. Yung ARL station ay nasa basement ng airport. May train every 15 minutes from 6 AM to 12 midnight and every 10 minutes naman pag within peak hours. The ARL is connected to the city's BTS SkyTrain at two stations, sa Makasan and Payatay, yung last station. Ang travel time ay around 25 minutes. Depende kung saan located yung hotel mo, you can just switch lines at either of these stations. Kung sa Sukhumvit or Silom area ka, you can connect at either Makasan or Payatay station. Find out the station closest to your hotel and transfer to either the MRT Blue Line at Makasan station, tapos lipat sa Phetchaburi station or to BTS Sukhumvit Line or yung light green line sa Payatay station naman. Kung sa Siam area ka naman magsistay, alight at Payatay station and transfer sa BTS Sukhumvit Line. Yun yung light green line. Catch a train bound for Keha and then get off at Siam Station or kung saang station pinakamalapit sa final destination mo. Kung sa Khao San area ka naman nagsistay, baba ka sa Makasan Station, transfer to MRT Blue Line sa Phetchaburi Station, and then alight sa Samyot Station. From here, need mong mag-cab, tuk-tuk, or grab papunta sa Khao San kasi medyo malayo pa yon mula dito sa station. If you're coming from Don Muang Airport naman, just walk to Don Muang Station along the SRT Dark Red Line. Bago lang yung station na to, kaka-open lang nung August 2022. Tapos, board the train bound for Bang Sue and alight there. Yun yung last stop. Tapos, transfer ka sa MRT Blue Line. Kung sa Silom area ka patungo, most stations in Silom ay along the Blue Line so basta baba ka na lang sa kung saan man yung closest na station sa hotel mo. Kung sa Siam area ka naman nagsistay, baba ka sa Chatuchak Park Station and transfer to BTS Sukhumvit Line sa Mochit Station. Catch another train bound for Keha and then baba ka ulit sa Siam Station or again kung saan malapit yung hotel mo na station. May mga direct buses din from Don Muang Airport to select destinations around Bangkok. Ito yung mga bus na dapat mong sakyan. So makikita nyo dyan, merong direct bus papunta sa Mochit Bus Terminal, BTS Mochit Station, Victory Monument, and meron din sa Khao San Road, yun yung bus A4, yun pa Khao San. Ang fare ay 30 to 50 baht depende sa ruta. Pero honestly, if papunta kayo talaga ng Tausan area, whether you're coming from Suvarnabhumi Airport or Don Muang, mag-cab ka na lang or grab straight to your hotel, lalo if may dala kang mabigat na maleta. Kasi kahit mag-train ka, magka-cab ka rin naman after. Pero if you opt for a cab, always insist on using the meter. Ang fare is around 400 baht. Tapos may airport surcharge na 50 baht. Tapos kung sa Suvarnabhumi Airport ka manggagaling, meron ding highway toll fee na 75 baht. Kung mag-grab ka naman, usually ay 530 to 600 baht, kasama na dyan yung toll fee and highway fee. Ang travel time ay 45 minutes to 1 hour, depende sa traffic. This is based sa experience ng team namin. Although hindi kasing power ng transportation system ng Singapore and Hong Kong, madali rin namang mag-commute sa Bangkok. Traffic lang din ang kalaban mo lalo kapag rush hour, pero mas malala pa rin dito sa Manila kaya di ka naman masashock sa Bangkok. May 4 main modes of transportation para sa mga turista. Una na dyan yung train. So may dalawang klase yan, yung BTS Skytrain and MRT. Reliable naman ang train system ng Bangkok and mabilis din naman. Marami sa mga attractions ay malapit sa mga stations, kaya okay talaga itong option, iwas traffic pa. Pero ito yung catch. Although connected naman yung dalawang systems na to sa ibang stations, itong MRT and BTS ay completely separate, run by different managements and hindi interchangeable yung ticket. Halos magkakapresyo naman ang pamasahe ranging from 15 to 52 baht. Sa BTS, pwede kang gumamit ng Rabbit Card, yun yung parang stored value ticket nila, and pwede rin yung one-day pass, yun yung unlimited rides naman for one day. Isa pang paborito ng mga turista na mode of transportation ay ang bangka. So, ito yung best option kung bibisitahin mo yung Grand Palace Complex na malapit sa Tachang Pier and Wat Po na malapit naman sa Tatian Pier. Ang Quezon Road din may malapit na pier, yung Pra-Artit. So, kung bibisitahin mo lahat ng yan in one day, pwedeng bangka-bangkain mo na lang. Both the Chao Phraya tourist boat and yung mas murang orange flag boat will make a stop sa mga key attractions. Ang fare sa tourist boat ay 50 baht for single ride or 180 baht kung day pass. Kung yung mas murang orange flag boat naman yung sasakyan mo, 15 baht lang yung fare, flat rate na yon. Kung masyadong malayo sa MRT, BTS or pier ang pupuntahan mo, best na mag-taxi or mag-grab ka na lang. May motor din nga pala yung grab dito kung solo ka and nagtitipid. Sa taxi, a ride costs more than sa Manila pero nowhere near the rate sa Singapore or sa Hong Kong. Ang flag down ay 35 baht and average ride within the city is probably around 100 baht. May encounter ka na cab drivers na hindi nagme-metro pero just insist on it. And pag ayaw pumayag, hanap ka na lang ng iba. All cabs in Bangkok must use the meter. Pwede ka ring mag-tuk-tuk pero di ko pa yan na-try kasi mainit and basta hindi ko pa na-try. Whatever mode of transportation you choose, staying connected is extremely helpful. Dahil nga magkahiwalay na system ang BTS and MRT, meron silang separate app na ginagamit and separate din yung ticket. Maraming train apps online pero itong Explore Bangkok app ang ginagamit ko, which combines the two systems and shows you the fastest way to get from point A to point B kasama na yung transfers. Although, may mga English translations naman, language barrier still exists. Kapag magta-taxi ako or asking for directions, I always find myself showing the pinned location on Google Maps and gets naman nila agad basta kita nila sa mapa. Kaya makakatulong talaga kapag connected ka sa internet. You can purchase a data SIM card or rent a pocket Wi-Fi via Klook. On our last trip, I reserved a data SIM card which is the cheapest and most convenient option. May dalawang klase na available, yung TrueMove and DTAC. Parehong 15 gig of data yung binibigay and parehong good for up to 16 days. You can pick it up sa airport and you're good to go. Maglalagay na lang kami ng link sa mga kung saan nyo pwedeng i-book ang mga ito dun sa description and sa pinned comment. Again, ang official currency ng Thailand ay ang baht. Hindi kagandahan ang rates ng money changer sa airport, so kung need mo talaga na sa airport magpapalit, kaunti lang muna yung ipalit mo, tapos tsaka mo na damihan pag nasa city center ka na. Hanap ka ng super rich Thailand na money changer, yung legit na super rich ha, or mag-withdraw ka na lang sa mga ATM ng mga local banks. Ito yung mga na-try namin, ranked according to yung nagbigay sa amin ng best rates. But keep in mind na usually ay may charge na 220 baht per transaction, so dapat one time big time pag magwi-withdraw ka para hindi ka ma-charge ng paulit-ulit. Kung group kayo, like kami, 4 kami that time, tapos kaunti lang yung i-withdraw ng isang tao, pagsama-samahin nyo na lang. Isa na lang yung mag-withdraw, tapos tsaka na lang kayo magbayaran pag uwi para isang charge lang. Ito naman yung mga usual na presyuhan ng mga items na you probably need for a comfortable stay in Bangkok. Kung mapapansin nyo, may mga rice meals din sa 7-Eleven sa Thailand and in fairness, masasarap and mura. As in, kaya kong ma-recommend. Nasa 40 to 55 baht lang or 65 to 90 pesos kung i-convert. So ito yung mga usual na mabibili sa fast food and convenience stores. So, ang bottled water is 6 to 12 baht, depende sa brand. Tapos, yung soft drink ay 20 baht, 550 ml naman yon. Ang street food ay nasa 10 to 30 baht per stick, depende sa area and depende sa klase. Yan yung mga tuhog-tuhog. Ang pad thai nasa 50 to 60 baht. Tapos, usually yung rice meals, meron kang mahanap na 50 baht lang. Nasa mga 75 pesos or 80 pesos. Pero meron ding mga mas mahal. Ito naman yung mga entrance fees sa mga attractions. And ito naman yung fare. Tapos ito yung madalas yung presyo ng mga tours. Kasama na dyan yung hotel transfers. Kung naghahanap kayo ng mga murang restaurant sa Bangkok, we have a separate video about that. So panoorin nyo na lang yon. By the way, tipping is not mandatory in Bangkok, pero it's appreciated naman. You can also just round off your bill. So for example, if your bill is 135 baht, you can leave 150 baht. Same with sa taxi. If the meter is 105, pwede mo namang i-round off to 110 or 120. Sa hotels, you can give 20 to 50 sa mga porter na magbubuhat ng luggage mo papunta sa room. Depende kung ilang piraso. And sa massage, mga 50 baht yung tip. And sa mga tour guides na full day ka tinur, okay naman na yung 200 baht. Bangkok is generally safe and tourist friendly. Pero kahit ganon, beware of tourist scams. Kasi medyo talamak talaga sila dito, so dapat careful ka. They are more organized than they appear. Isa sa mga modus dito ay yung mga tambay sa mga gates ng temples, tapos nag-a-approach sila ng mga tourists na papasok. Tapos, sasabihin nila na closed yung site kasi may holiday or may event or something. And then, sasabihin nila na meron silang alam na ibang temples na bukas and i-refer ka nila sa isang bangka or tuk-tuk para mag-tour. Pero actually, kasabwat nila yon. Yung catch is, overpriced yung rate nung tuk-tuk or nung bangka and dadalhin ka nila sa isang jewelry store kung saan may engganyo kayo bumili. Kasabwat din nila yung jewelry store. Very friendly sila and minsan nag-i-introduce sila as teachers. Na-encounter ko sila madalas pero ini-ignore ko na lang. May mga nagbebenta rin ng mga tickets for direct buses to Siem Reap or sa iba pang mga lugar pero hindi naman talaga sila direct kasi magsiswitch pa rin kayo ng sasakyan at one point. Yung iba may stop pa sa isang travel agency para bentahan kayo ng visa. Pero fake naman yun kasi tandaan tayong mga Pinoy, hindi natin kailangan ng visa sa Thailand man or sa Cambodia. And syempre, yung mga infamous ping pong shows. May mga establishments daw kasi na sobrang tinataga yung customers. Kahit sabihin nila na free yung show, sa drinks kanila i-overcharge. I say daw kasi hindi pa ako nakapanood ng mga ganyang show. Totoo! Hindi pa talaga. Although nakaka-curious talaga. When is the best time to visit Bangkok? November to February, when the temperature and precipitation levels are kind and low. Pero yan din yung peak season. Actually, high season din hanggang April, around Songkran Festival. Yun yung New Year nila. So, sa ganitong months, expect na crowded talaga yung mga tourist spots. Sa totoo lang, Bangkok could have been a year-round destination if it weren't for the bouts of rain and flooding problems. Kaya nga, it's best to avoid the wettest months na September to October. Although, May talaga nagsa-start ang rainy season. Tapos hanggang October na yun. We have tried traveling to Bangkok in January, July, August, September, October, and November, and we can tell you that the precipitation level can definitely affect your overall travel experience. Naranasan ko na mas stuck sa traffic and sa baha dito sa Bangkok, and nakakahinayang talaga yung mga nasasayang na oras. Whether you're a foodie, a shopaholic, a nature lover, a history buff, a culture vulture, or a party animal, Bangkok has something for you. We'll enumerate them in our next video, so don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell icon if you're on YouTube, or follow and like this page if you're on Facebook. If you have questions, make good use of the comment section below. Pwede mo rin kaming i-follow or i-message sa Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Just look for @ThePoorTraveler, single L. Kung meron kayong Spotify account or Apple Podcasts app, follow and tune in to the Poor Traveler Podcast. That's all for now. Remember, plan smart, travel safe, and make every trip worth it.